All right, welcome everybody. I am here with Sue Benson, Pinky Nose Naples. Yay! She's going to help us understand and thrive in social media. That has been our focus for September, and she's going to share a lot of great takeaways with you. So first, just tell us a little bit about yourself and your business down there and how you did through the hurricane.
All right, well, guys, my name's Pinky. Pinky Nose Naples is my byline, and I'm in Naples, Florida, which is Southwest Florida, and that's if you've been watching the news, you know that that's where Hurricane Irma decided to take a visit. Some joke that she had to come here because Pinky had put out so many great things to see that she wanted to check it out herself. So don't blame me for the hurricane. I'm just saying. But as far as I've been here in Naples it's been 2 years now. So prior to that, I was a real estate agent up north of Tampa in a little town called Brooksville, Spring Hill, Florida area. So the average price of a home there was about 120, 130. And I came to a place where the average home price is about 400,000. I went from a place of 400 agents to a place where there's like 6,000 agents. So I have been rebuilding and reinventing myself for 2 years and really, really focusing on my brand and video and how to become part of my community and getting to know my community and sharing that journey with my viewers.
That's so cool. So even if someone isn't in a new location per se, it doesn't mean that they can't just start from wherever they are.
No. I mean, you know, there's so many things that you probably take advantage of, or, you know, don't even think about. Like you get up in the morning, you go and you get your coffee. Well, maybe it's your favorite coffee shop that you go to that has the best, poppy seed bagel that you've ever had in your life. Those little tiny snippets of your life, people want to know about. It's crazy, but they want to know about it. And then they're like, hey, I went and had that poppy seed. You're right. It was the best bagel ever. So you just have to take yourself out of like your everyday and go, okay, my everyday could be somebody is wondering, where should I go to get a bagel? And you are an expert in those things, and you just need to start sharing those thoughts and ideas with other people.
That's a great, I guess most people don't think about it that way. And I have a lot of friends on Facebook that are realtors, and I'm not sure how I'm starting to feel about it only being when they list a house and when they're at the closing table. So maybe talk a little bit about listings and closings, and then also if you could address, should people be working from their business page or should they be working from their personal page? What's your thought on that?
Okay. Well, I'll start with the putting up the listings and the closings and what have you.
Okay.
I get it. I've done it. I've been there, and I want you to know I did it probably 5 years ago. Okay, 5 years ago, that's what I was doing. So now we've kind of evolved past that because we all get annoyed. We all go through Facebook, and even though we find everybody annoying, we still look. And it's just the nature of who we are. And I mean, just admit it. We're all stalkers of some kind. Oh, what did Joe Doe do today? I got to go check it out, even though you've already hidden him because you don't want to see his crazy stuff. But, here's the thing is that, like, it is, if you want people to engage with you, you have to give them more than just, this is my business, this is my business. Okay, we get it. You're a real estate agent. We get that you sell houses. We get that you're working on Saturday and everybody else is off going to the golf game or whatever. We get that. And you are more than that. You are more than a real estate agent. At least I hope you are. And you have other things that you want to share about your community and about your life with your Facebook audience. And that's what you have to start thinking of, is your Facebook audience. And what do they want to see? Do you really want to see your dentist every day putting up pictures of people like getting their teeth fixed? Would you be like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with my dentist? I don't know that I ever want to go see him if he's just going to show me dirty teeth every day, like, or whatever it is. Right. So you have to start thinking like, okay, and I have to tell you, I just realized, like, I have not done a right hook in a really long time because I've been so focused on building my brand and so focused on not sharing my business side of it that I was like, well, everybody knows I'm a real estate agent. It's not like I hide it. But then I decided, you know what? I need to put up a post. So I literally just last night put up a post, and all I put up there was 40. I used my little Bitmoji, from Snapchat. And I put up there like 43 is the number of foreclosures that are in Naples right now. 43 houses are foreclosed on. My phone has been blowing up, my email, my messages on Facebook. Wow. I turned it into an ad. So I have now taken that post, which was on my personal page,
Okay.
turned it into an ad on my business page. Now,
Wow.
when it comes to the business pages, it is getting harder and harder to get traction as far as I see it. I mean, you really have to start to pay to play. And if you don't know how to adjust your audiences correctly, which every time I go on there, I get overwhelmed. And I'm not by any means an expert on it, but it is very difficult to get traction. If you're just going to throw $100 in there and just say like the whole world should see my ad, then the whole world will see your ad and you're going to get some crazy, person on there commenting about God knows what. So if you're going to do the ads, make sure that you know what you're doing. Make sure you put the time, effort, and energy into researching how to do a productive ad and to narrow your audiences down to specific people.
Okay.
Otherwise, whether it's $10 or $1,000, you're going to be wasting it. So it is hard to get traction on your business page. I actually have two. I have a business and a community page. My community page does a whole lot better than my business page because guess what? I'm giving them value, community things. And when I say they do better, I mean, I get like 10 likes versus no likes. And I mean, I watch business pages because every realtor out there invites you to like their business pages. And I actually put them in a Facebook list, which if you don't know how to do, that is the most amazing, huge tip I can give you is creating Facebook lists. Okay. It is.
Is there a quick way to figure out how to do that? Can you like just say it real quick or?
It's easier to do on the desktop, to set it up on the desktop. The system already makes certain categories for you, but basically what a Facebook list does is it breaks it down into categories. So if you wanted to put your past clients, all of your friends, and what you do is you go to their page, you see them, you put them, add to list, you put them in a specific list.
Add to list.
Yes.
So there's a list tab on our pages. This is great because we may have to do a video. We may have to video how, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no. And I'll tell you who taught me was Katie Lance. If you know who Katie Lance, social media guru is. Oh my gosh, girl, you've got to check out Katie Lance. She just wrote a book called Get Social Smart. It is the most amazing book. And she has amazing, any kind of social media questions you have, you should follow Katie Lance.
And is it K-A, how do you spell her name?
K-A-T-I-E, Lance, L-A-N-C-E.
Thank you. I will do
You're
that.
so welcome. And she taught me about Facebook lists. And what was amazing for me as we just went through the hurricane is I have a list of Pinky Nose Naples. And what it is it's all the businesses and all of the, government pages, everything that I follow that they don't show up in your timeline. You know how you like them and then you never see them again?
Yeah.
You make it so that they're part of your individual timeline. So it became my headlines. So I could go through really fast and be like, oh, okay, so, Collier County government says that there's a boil water notice, and then I have that information. Then I can go on to another page. Oh, this place is open. This restaurant is serving food. So you can go to Bo Campers and get wings and beer, so it made it easy. So I didn't have to go through the, 2,000 friends that I might have and have to look at like, oh, baby Sarah's new picture of her standing up and walking. And it made it much more efficient. So when you're in a situation where you've got to find the content, because how many times are we looking for content?
I know.
Boom, you find it quick. You're there. I have one that's all my real estate magazines and news. So that way, if I need to plug in something, because I take care of other friends' pages, if they need a real estate news page, or news article, I can go there, find something, and plug it in for later in the week.
Awesome.
Sorry, we got off on a side tangent.
I know, but it's so valuable. I love that. That's what's so great about, having people participate in this group too. I had someone just the other day say, can I ask for, someone to role play? I'm like, that's what the group's for. It's not, I don't want to be the only one contributing. I want us all to contribute. So great point. So you say just, unless you're going to run an ad, because you can't really run an ad from a personal page, right?
No.
Then just put stuff on your personal page and get over it. Is that what you pretty much think? Or
I think that you can put up business things, but just be very obvious to what you're doing. Like I will go back and look at my timeline probably once a week, if not more, to make sure that certain things are hidden. Like if they've been up there, like sometimes people thank you for something and I'll leave it up there for a couple of days, but then I'll hide it so that my content, if somebody comes to my page, will be able to see, like I was doing videos of all over Naples and everything that we were seeing after Hurricane Irma. And I was getting a lot of engagement from that. But at the same time, I was having a lot of people say, oh, thank you, Pinky, for going out and showing me this neighborhood or that neighborhood. And while I'm appreciative of their thanks, I left it up there for a couple days, but I knew people would be coming to my page, and I wanted them to be able to find what they were looking for without having to go through like, oh, you know, I shared a picture of a monkey dancing on a chair or something, you know, so be very aware of your timeline. Like, go back into your personal page and make sure that you keep it as clean as possible, because a lot of times people tag you in things and you're like, I don't really want this on my timeline, you know?
Right. See, I'm a big poster deleter. Like, I'll post something because I think it's a good idea, and then the next morning, or if I've had some wine, and then the next morning I'm like, that was not a good idea. And so I immediately like delete it, but I didn't think about just hiding stuff.
You can just hide it. I think that a business page is good for, you know, the show me your how awesomeness, you know, my client testimonies, and, you know, doing the listings, because you can go there and make those into ads.
Right.
But, you know, the more that we do ads, the more that you have to think about is that Facebook has said that within the next 5 years, everything's going to be video. So if you're keeping that in mind, people that are just putting up posts with words and text, I think Tom Ferry said, you might as well put up a poop emoji because nobody's going to see it. Right. So, you know, and that's going to start happening with pictures. So video becomes more and more relevant as you go through the process. So you need to start thinking that way. Like, how can I take this into a video? Like, you know, okay, so I have a customer saying I'm awesome. Can I get them on camera saying I'm awesome? Mm-hmm. You know, something to that effect that is going to make people engage more with you and see who you are as a person.
What's your favorite social media platform to use?
I have to tell you, I love Facebook. I've been on it since the beginning, and I love Facebook, and I love how it's evolved and how things have changed. And without electricity and Wi-Fi, I have to tell you, it was the only social media I could get on for the last 10 days.
Wow.
Yeah, there were times where I couldn't check my email to look at pictures or anything, but I could get on Facebook. So that, to me, I was like, hey, that's good stuff right here. And I think it's one of the easier ones to understand. I do adore Snapchat. And if you can get in there, and I say conquer it, because it really isn't that hard. I mean, let's face it, our teenagers can do it. If you can get there and understand it, you can find a lot of fun in it, and you can find a lot of good friends. Like, you know, I say friends, but like people that are more likely to like you versus Facebook, where it's just like, oh, we have mutual friends and let's be friends because we're mutual friends kind of thing. And I have gotten some really great coaches and friends from Snapchat that I would never have imagined from Facebook. I wouldn't have probably ever connected with them on Facebook. So Instagram I like too. You know, they all have their pros. Instagram's good for one-on-one traction too. Like, you get a lot of direct messaging. You can, you know, like I put up that same post, and that's why I actually moved it to Facebook, was I put it on Instagram first. And Instagram, I started getting text messages, and I'm like, they're texting me from Instagram? I'm like, what the heck? Like, and it was people, like, not even people that I was friends with. Like, you know, people that, it was just other people that, you know, however they looked up the hashtag, whatever. And so then I was like, I'm going to put it on Facebook. So first I put it on the community page, and I was like, and it did okay and then I'm like, forget it. I'm just going to go for the right hook, and I'm going to put it on my personal page, and so be it. If people think I'm selling something, let them think I'm selling something, because I am. So I did it. And then that's when it was like, so, I mean, as we're sitting here, I'm getting emails left, right, and sideways about this foreclosure list. It's 43 houses. It's not even like, you know, some huge amount.
No, but it's probably just nobody else puts stuff up there like that, probably.
Probably. And you have to think of doing it in a creative way. One that's not, you know, it's my Bitmoji. I'm making fun of it, you know, nothing. It's not your professional, you know. So many times we think, like, and this comes to video, so many times people think like, oh, I have to have my suit and tie on, I have to have my pretty dress on, I have to do all of these things and get the camera light and all these things to make it perfect, when you're missing the opportunity. You know, my girlfriend Erica does mortgages, and she was doing a video, and it was a Facebook Live, and it was on forbearance for the mortgages. Because right now there's a whole lot of people saying, oh, you can get forbearance on your mortgages. Go get it. Because, you know, if you've been affected by the hurricane. Well, the thing is that, you know, and this is a mortgage person. She's telling you this. Okay, you can get this for 90 days. You know what will happen on day 91? They want you to pay those 3 months that you've missed. So is this really going to help you? So she started off doing this video. She had 5 people on there. She's in her baseball cap. She's got her glasses on. She is not made up to look like, you know, the bank of whoever representative with their suit and tie and looking professional. She has 5 people on there. I got on her Facebook Live and I called it producing because that's what I did. I start sending it to groups because you can now share Facebook Lives within a group as they're happening. And I started sharing them out to Hurricane Irma groups that, you know, people that were looking for help, other real estate pages, things of that nature. We went from 5 people live to over 200 within a few minutes. By the time she got off, she had over 7,000 views, and now she's at 14,000. 14,000 views. It's not a boosted post. We didn't do it. We just did it strategically. And I told her it was great. In the middle of the Facebook Live, she's all of a sudden yelling at her husband to like put the shrimp in the gumbo because she's making gumbo for dinner and she had not anticipated that this was going to happen. But what does that tell your viewer on the other side? You're a real person, that you're truly giving real knowledge and information, and that you're not some propped up person who's pitching a product or what have you. You're an actual live person. So it's okay, you know, to have your, I mean, I did 2 weeks worth of Hurricane Irma videos in a baseball cap and barely any makeup, having not showered probably for 2 days. So it's okay to be real, and then it's okay to get all foofed up and have your nice classy video too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think people do get hung up on that. I tell people all the time, if I tried to wait until I was perfect or I knew what I was doing, I'd be paralyzed. I mean, I would never move forward. No. And the other thing I remember is I follow this guy. His name's Kyle Cease, and he is in transformation stuff now. But he used to be a stand-up comic. Mm-hmm. And so I really like the blend of what he brings. And he said something that really resonated with me because I do classes and I teach. And he said, if you spend so much time in the preparation, then you're only thinking about yourself. Mm-hmm. And the whole point is like, I want to get the message out. Like, I want to help people now, which is why I started the group. I'm like, I just want more people to understand what they have. And now it's turned into, I'm doing it till R4. I mean, I don't even know how all that even came up. I just went with it. Right. And Mel Robbins has helped me a lot with that too, with the 5-second rule. You know, you just go and do it. And she is such a real, she's a real person, and she's very inspirational. So I like that you talk about videos. What other forms of videos are you really tapping into? I know you did the hurricane stuff. Like, are you on a schedule of stuff, or is it just kind of on the fly and you just make sure that you get it done?
You know, when I first started Pinky Nose Naples, and I have to tell you, a shout out to Michael Thorne, who, if you go to R4, he is a Canadian realtor. He was the one who was having a video boot camp with Jesse Peters, and I went out 2 days early to R4.
I heard that was really good.
And it's coming to Florida in November. So really? Yes, it's going to be, I think it's like the 11th and the 12th of November, right around that time frame. You can message me. I'll get you the details. It's a 2-day boot camp. It's well worth the money. It's like $400 for 2 days, but it's in Orlando. And these two have Mac Daddy Video. If you have any interest in knowing how to make your videos better, how to edit them, how to get them out on distribution levels, these two are the guys that taught me everything. And, you know, so when I first left Vegas and I came back to Florida and I said, okay, I'm starting all over. Where should I start? I scheduled my Pinky Nose Naples. And what I did is I say every Friday at 1 o'clock, I would go and I was literally talking to myself. I wasn't interviewing anybody. I would dig up facts about the Naples Zoo. I would dig up facts about downtown Naples. And I would walk around doing a Facebook Live or a video to myself. Like, that's all I did every Friday at 1 o'clock. And in fact, I was in Ohio one Friday at 1 o'clock, and my husband's like, what in the world are you doing? I'm like, I'm doing a Pinky Nose Naples. He's like, but you're in Ohio. Like, it's okay, because there are people in Ohio that go to Naples, and Naples go to Ohio, you know? So I'm like, but it was about picking the time and the schedule. Now I can kind of just do it whenever, because I have found that with myself, my followers will watch it later. So they know what they're going to see, kind of thing. So they'll tune in later. Like for example, this afternoon, the one that I'm doing was a request from one of the viewers that she's a big golfer. They're coming back down here to Naples in a couple of weeks, and she's heard that all the golf courses are closed because of the hurricane. So I'm going to one of the prominent golf courses in town, and I'm going to interview the head pro there and talk their course is open and what they should know. So those little things. So like, if you didn't want to do it to the scale of all of your community, let's say you lived in a gated community that had a golf course. couldn't you just go and interview that individual golf course and say, hey, what's going on with the golf course? When will it be ready? But, you know, how does the condition look? But, you know, things, there's tiny little ways that you can like take advantage of just taking your farming and really tuning it into your individual community. I've done it on a bigger scale, but you could just take, like, my aunt lives in Kensington. She could have all of Kensington talk about, you know, once a week, oh, this is what's going on this week, you know, what's up Wednesday. And you can tell every Wednesday what's going on in your community. And everybody gets to that point that they're like, oh, I got to see what's up on Wednesday. I got to check in with Peggy and see what's going on. But it's a commitment, just like anything else. Like we were talking before, Holly, it's like, you're not going to throw up one post and be instant celebrity. Okay, if you are, please let me know what it is, because I'll do the same thing.
Yeah.
But, you know, seriously, like every now and then somebody hits the jackpot, just like the lottery, and they get it. But you're not going to put up one video and everybody's going to tune in and watch it. You know, the novelty of the first time you go live, you will see huge numbers because everybody will be like, what's she talking about?
Right.
To keep the consistency going, you have to be consistent, and you have to give them an expectation of what they can expect every time they tune in. Is she going to be, you know, stuttering through it, or is she going to be engaging? Is she going to have somebody to interview? Could I ask her questions? Is she going to be responding to me? Because I might not be able to respond during the live, but I will afterwards make sure that I go back and be like, thanks for watching. Thanks for sharing. You know, do you have any questions? You know, and try to answer their questions. Those are all things that you should be doing when you take on video.
That's a great point, because I always tell people, I heard Gary Vee speak years ago at
June.
He was at R4, and at that point I still was not on Facebook, so it had to have been before 4 years ago, or longer than 4 years ago, when he was there. But I remember when he was talking about his wine library, and something stuck with me from then to even now that I am on Facebook. And he talked about always closing the circle, and how so many people will get likes and they'll get comments and they never do anything with it. Like, that's the whole point. If somebody likes something, retry, if it makes sense, to reach back and say, hey, thanks for liking my page. Was that something you were interested in? Or if you're running an ad, I just see so much missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Because people aren't engaged.
Don't try to engage with them on a selling point. Just be like, hey, thank you for sharing, you know, or, you know, just be who you are, be a nice person, and say, hey, how are you doing? You know, I was doing a live the other day, and my videographer from back in the day popped on. He's like, I think your mic's not working. I haven't heard from Jamie in years. So afterwards I went on there and I was like, hey, Jamie, how are you? What's going on with you? Yeah. You know, I mean, I really genuinely was like, oh my gosh, Jamie's watching, you know, and it's things that, like, you need to go back and engage with those people. So it's not just throw it up there, hope for the best, and then run away. Because that's what it's kind of like, putting it on the, board, you know, tacking it on there and saying lost dog, and then you never take the phone calls, you know?
Yeah.
That. So, you know, you have to be consistent. You got to go to the gym every day to get the muscles. You have to do the same thing with whatever social media platform you're on. Whatever it is, if you're on Snapchat, do it daily. If you're going to be on Instagram, do it daily. You know, Facebook, do it daily, but be very conscious of what you're doing daily. You don't want to overwhelm, you know. That's it.
I have a Snapchat account, and Susan, who's in the group, we were in Greenville together. So I'm like, all right, give me a crash course lesson on, you know, so she showed me how to navigate around. But even the video that she put up, you know, going from, she looked like all the different characters or whatever. And I'm like, people were emailing me, how did she do that? I'm like, I don't know, ask her in the group to show us how she did that. You know,
it's really easy. It's just all she's doing is downloading it to the phone. Like, she's downloading her story and then she's uploading the story. That's it. It's not hard. And that's what people get so overwhelmed with, like, oh, and it's like, they have made it super easy for us because they know we're idiots. So we have to, like, just take advantage of it and not overthink it. Keep it as simple as possible. But what Susan did that's great is she was giving you good content in a fun way. And that's what you've got to think about as your audience is watching you. When I go out to tell the story of a house, I really try to find the story of the house. Like, not necessarily the 3 bedrooms and the 2 baths, but okay, this fireplace, maybe it's, you know, an ancient fireplace that was made by the gods of Greece or something, you know, and I try to tell, I don't have to show you the 3 bedrooms. Everybody knows 3 bedrooms, you know, but I can tell them about, oh, this fireplace. And then they're like, really? Wow. I wonder what else is interesting about that house. You're teasing them, you know, teasing them to come back and say, I want to know more about that house. Those are the things that you got to keep in mind when you're putting stuff up, because anybody can look up, think more than Zillow, think more than Trulia, realtor.com, more than 3 bedrooms.
Right. I like that. So think about the story. That's a great point. Okay. So as we wrap up here, what would 3 things be? I know we have all kinds of different levels of technology base for everybody in here, but as you think about how you started and how, where you are now, what would 3 areas that you would really try to have people start to get consistent on and focus on?
I would say that your consistency needs to start with taking one particular platform. So if you're going to do Facebook, conquer Facebook. Figure it out. Don't get distracted by all the other noise. Okay. So, and then when you go into Facebook, okay, I'm going to be really conscious, not only about what I'm posting, but also like on my own individual page, but when I'm commenting on other people's posts. Okay, we have to think like public relations people here. Don't go out and say something negative on Krabby Sue's page and think that other people aren't going to see that, okay? You have to be consistent. You have to think your personal page as your business page in many respects. Like if you don't want your business to be, associated with that particular, business or whatever, then don't like their page. So, you know what I'm saying? Like we have to be very conscious of those things and make sure that when you are commenting that you're not filling up your timeline all day long with like 15 zillion other posts, because it's going to get overwhelming. And, I have friends who'll say, oh, Sue, I love you, but, I see too much of yourself. And, at first I was like offended. And then I said, okay, how many friends do you have? And they had like 600 friends. And I'm like, okay, so of 600 friends, there's probably maybe 60 that are actively posting. And then I start getting tagged in things. I'm like, it's not so much that I'm posting all the time. It's that you don't have enough friends. It's like filling up your timeline with my stuff. So it's really not my fault. It's just, but what can we learn from that is that we have to think like, okay, for that person that has 600 friends and I'm filling up their timeline, maybe I can fill it up in a constructive way so that they don't feel like, oh, she's just posting another picture of her dirty laundry or her horrible life or whatever it is, like be more obvious to what you're doing, because you want people to engage. Biggest compliment I get is when I go places and people say, I gravitate to look at your stuff because I find it engaging and I find it interesting. And that to me means that, oh, okay, they're tuning in to see me. And they'll tune in when I say I have real estate, which was an example of that last night. I'm overwhelmed by that.
I know, it's so cool. All right, so that was 2. So one more thing.
One more thing, video. And don't tell me you're scared. Okay, I hear that all the time. I know you're scared. Okay, what you have to focus on is, why are you scared? What is it? That you're afraid you're going to look stupid? That you're afraid that you're overweight? That you're afraid you have a funny voice? All of those things are still going to be there, whether it's today, tomorrow, or 3 weeks from now, or when you're 90 years old. Okay, so you need to embrace those things and say, okay, who am I trying to prove? Am I trying to prove to myself that I'm not, not as skinny as I used to be? What am I trying to accomplish in my mindset? And then it's a lot of inner focusing, because I've helped a lot of people with their video. When you sit there, because as soon as you pick up that phone and you put this thing and you're standing there, oh, by the way, here's my huge tip alert.
Okay.
Video on Facebook should be horizontal. This way, horizontal. Do not do this on Facebook.
Oh, see, I had no idea.
This gets better engagement on Facebook.
Had
All
no
the other
idea.
platforms, you can do it that way. You want to get seen, you want Facebook to like you, horizontal.
Thank you.
As soon as you put this up in front of you, every single fear that you are about, like, oh my God, I think my ex-husband might see this video and I probably don't look as good. Every single thought that you have is going to flash before your eyes. You need to pay attention to those and say, do I really care what my ex-husband thinks?
Mm-hmm.
Do I really? I mean, it is a lot of what do they call it? Introspecting? Or?
Introspective.
Right? It's a lot of psycho going on in there, okay? But once you have embraced it and you say, I don't care. For me, the biggest fear was always, I don't have my makeup on. And then I was like, I literally did a video for R4 last year when I was speaking of myself putting makeup on. And I realized I did a time lapse that the makeup looked better to me, but in all honesty, it didn't look that much different to the camera. Like, unless you're putting gobs of it on, it's not it's really a comfort level for me. And when I realized that, I was like, oh, well, then, the hell with it. Who cares? I mean, If it's not going to make me look like a goddess, then what difference does it make?
Yeah, I mean, if I had a TV crew, you know, the professional people,
Exactly.
it will make a difference. But I mean, yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I probably look different every time I'm on here, and I just don't care. Like, I don't care.
I mean, it's hilarious, but you need to embrace video, because if you don't, you're already going to be behind, and you've just got to swallow it whole. And I would say keep it short and sweet in the beginning, not so short, but like, you know, and you can tape it. You don't have to do live video in the beginning if you're more comfortable. One of the biggest tips I always give people, Instagram is great for having the ability to switch between accounts, and you can have a perfectly private account. And in that account, you can just have like maybe 2 or 3 other people that you like and trust and know, and you can practice doing your 60-second videos in there. Like, take it in, go into a house and be like, okay, I'm going to talk 60 seconds about this house. And then I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to try and narrow it down. And Snapchat's the same thing. Like, if you don't even have anybody following you, just making yourself do it and being aware of it. Just like when people were so uncomfortable doing selfies. And now everybody, you don't even think twice when somebody takes out a phone and does a selfie. You know, like, it's just you change the selfie into a video. Just change it into a video, and you'll get more and more comfortable. But you're not going to get comfortable thinking about it, thinking about the lighting, thinking that you should lose 10 pounds. You're never going to get more comfortable. You just have to bite off the bullet and start going for it.
Well, that's fantastic. There's just been so many great nuggets. I have a full page of notes here.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm hoping everybody else will. I'll do a recap for everybody. You did mention Orlando. If you could maybe post that in the group.
Oh, sure. I will. I'll post it.
They're not coming back to R4 this year? Or we don't know yet?
They're always at R4. I don't know that they're doing boot camp. Like I said, if they are, they will tell me. But like right now, we're just, the one in Orlando is, like I said, it's like the second weekend in November, I think, is coming up. It's like that right after, what is that, Veterans Day?
Let's see, November. Oh, it's on a weekend?
No, it's like Thursday, Friday coming into that.
9th and 10th, maybe.
Maybe that's it.
November 9th and 10th. Yeah, if you look that up, because there may be some people, you know, even in this group that live by, I'm in Atlanta, not that far. I wonder if I could make it. I don't know if I might be able to make it. I agree. I think video is the way to go, and we all need to get comfortable. And what you just said, if you have no followers, for all the people that just created their accounts, some people had just created a Snapchat. Maybe they haven't even asked anybody in there yet. What a great way for them to start getting practice. So that was a great
practice. And the better you know, the more you do it, the more efficient you become at talking. And it's okay to say and you know, it's okay. You're going to get better. You know, I don't want to like say that that's wrong, because I said that a little earlier, but it's just, if you're not giving them good content, if you're giving them the same thing over and over again, they're not going to come back to tune in. And that's what you always have to remember. If you're always telling them 3-bedroom, 2-bath, then they're going to always know that it's 3. So go in and try to make it a little bit more interesting. That's all.
Perfect. So many people may have some questions. Is it okay if they reach out to you or post in the group?
No.
What's the best way for them to ask questions?
DM me on Facebook, be my Facebook friend. You can also email me, pinkyknownaples@gmail.com. Whatever works for you.
Perfect. I so appreciate your time today.
Having me in the group, I love it.
I'm so glad, and everybody, I'm sure, will continue to, you know, start posting, and I think we'll get a lot more engagement as we get into areas that people may be more comfortable with, like October being listings and our seller client month. So we'll see. Thank you so much. I so appreciate your time today.